You stealing the chair, kitty. Have fun there. Meow.
Jill. Nice out the 500, then she only has 300,000.
Welcome to the Blaze of Crime Show. How's your day going? It's 20 degrees cooler up over here in our area. But still evening. And today is Tuesday.
As you can see, $2.99. You put in your rewards. That drops 10 cents to $2.89. See? $2.89. next goes down Jacksboro Highway. This is where we are. Drops off at Walmart. This is Jacksboro Highway. Eamon Carter, always free, no lie. Right, that's bus 46. It does go down Jacksboro Highway, which is what we're on. It passes Walmart, heads towards downtown. There's one in front of the golf course, I guess.
46.
That's the golf course right there.
How pretty.
And it's Greenwood Memorial Park.
Oh, yes, it does go down there.
Bailey Avenue, and right down that way, Roddy was buried. He was an announcer for Price is Right. He was the one that said, "Come on down!" Remember that? And he's buried right past those trees right there, straight ahead. You follow that road that kind of curves as if you were on Bailey Avenue and you just went straight into Greenwood, you'd run right into his grave. Way down there, we did a vlog on it. Come on down, the price is right.
I think we did it about this time last. No, yeah, well, it was about July. So I
Yeah,
remember it was hot.
Yeah.
It's always hot here. Today feels good. It's 20 degrees cooler.
It's good. Okay, it's a Tuesday, August 26, 5:20 p.m. About 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Probably closer to 90 degrees on WeatherBug. It's a little hotter in the car, so it's cooled off a little bit. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. There's Critter. It's from the species of mirror critters. It says so on the back. Oh, gotta go. All right. Looks like we got a Panda off Jacksboro Highway. On our way for the pickup. 5:31 arrival, 9 minutes, 3.7 miles. All right, we got 2 orders coming out of Panda. First delivery, 4:46 arrival, 5 minutes, 2.1 mile. We're in Sleepy Hollow, little trailer park, right in the River District. There's part of the wall, I guess the dam, the Trinity River leads to the Trinity River, but it doesn't. That's not cover. Yeah, it does cover some of the Trinity River. It's like an extra dam. I'm coming into this area. This is Isbell. All right, the second Panda delivery on its way. 5:58 arrival, 5 minutes, 1.6 miles.
Like it. Oh, there just ain't nobody here.
These are the Crestwood place. They've been around since the 1930s. Linda and I saw a unit before we moved into another place. But they're pretty affordable. We looked at a unit right there. Most likely would have to be haunted for the 30s. Admission Friday to the Modern Art Museum. Kimball's once again doing Look Again. Alright, got another good one at Sweet Garden on our way. Arrival 6:22, 2 minutes, 0.3 miles. Sweet Wild. Sweet Garden. Forward. Alright, Sweet Green on its way. 6:39 arrival, 14 minutes, 11 miles. John does. All the time. Good cardio. The mantra shack. Mantra shack. Oh, that's residence. Okay. Got to sell a few novels before we get a little Airbnb here. That's a mantra shack. Mantra shack. Mantra shack. Got one at Hashi Japanese Kitchen. Arrival 7:03, 2 minutes, 0.7 miles. All right, this Hashi Japanese is on its way. 7:23 arrival, 14 minutes, 8.2 miles for delivery. All right, got a halfway decent one at Pizza Hut. We don't know the mileage on the drop-off, but for the pickup, it's 7:49 arrival, 6 minutes, 1.6 miles. school, R.L. Pascal High School. That's where I was involved in theater and creative writing. All right, this Pizza Hut's on its way. 7:49 arrival, 1 minute, 0.3 miles. All right, got one at CC's Pizza on our way. 8 p.m. arrival, 2 minutes, 0.5 miles. Right, the CC's on its way. 8:16 arrival, 7 minutes, 0.4 miles. The Shake Shack is on its way. Delivery time, 8:48 arrival. 5 minutes, 1.6 miles. This one's going to Shirley Hall. A Panera Bread, there goes a snag. Arrive at 8:53, 2 minutes, 1.1 mile. Panera Bread is on its way. 9:12 arrival. 10 minutes, 7.3 miles. Dip up a light. Dip up a light. that Panera Bread went pretty far away. All right, got one at Chiba Hut Toasted Subs. On our way for the pickup. 9:38 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.5 miles. Headed to Chiba Hut. It's right under the WABI house, known as the Wabi House. Toasted subs. Chiba Hut. There's Wabi. So, little do you know that when that post, All Eyes on Me, will come up, and it might not come up on the Lou Reed Walk on the Wild Side part, if you heard that. They have a computer that's, it's like an algorithm, well, it's run by an algorithm to find music, and it'll just notify you that you can't monetize a video out of the 15,000 videos. I don't know, but sometimes it doesn't catch it. It's classical music. In some cases, some music is public domain, so you just have to find which one you want to use. I could cut it in the edit, but I probably won't, because I just put everything in a linear fashion from the beginning to the end. I hit shift on my first little segment video, goes all the way to the very end. I hit shift again, it highlights everything. I've taken my first transition, I double tap on it, I put apply to all, I send that through, highlights all my transitions, then I simply hit delete, and it cuts all the transitions to cuts. As I say, it kills all the hippies, meaning there's no dissolves. That way it gets all the little 1 second bursts that I get. I'm gonna try to climb up here. Yeah. All right. I don't know if that matters. I gotta double check this and reinforce it. I don't know if I can show you because of account information. Yeah, it's still there. All right. Now it's ready to be seen. Just give me a second. Grab this one little sponge thing right here. Pressure this thing here. Let's see it's a little more stable. Good to go. And that's the snack I'm having. I just had the cheese one. It's the last one we got from the food delivery. Or I mean, not the food delivery, I'm sorry, the food pantry. We got a few of them, they're really handy. This one's ham, Colby, Jack, and cashews. It's a portable protein pack. About 160 calories. right, got a Jack in a Box, 10:13 arrival, 2 minutes, 0.8 miles.
Hi, how are you? You can disconnect here?
It's not for me, it's actually for someone else. Doing the old school biking thing. He was popping a wheelie earlier. So this particular Jack in the Box has no cup holders. Can you imagine that? Let's go through those quick. Let's tighten up the handlebars for trick biking. This one says, "Tell Jesus I'm in Texas when they put me in the dirt." Just can't read it all. It's Parker McCollum, new album. I guess this may be a new album. If you do this, you stand up and reach up. Let's see all of it. German Shepherd. Boy, puppy. Tequila Timo. It's a taco truck. All right, this Tequila Timo is on its way. 10:50 arrival, 7 minutes, 3.9 miles. Purple light, purple light. headed to Buffalo Wild Wings. 11:33 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.2. You get a $10 bonus when you buy a $50 gift card. This Buffalo Wild Wings is on its way. 11:54 arrival, 11 minutes, 4.6 miles. I see, I'm on a left-hand turn. Okay. Did not know that. It's weird, I was just listening to Brandon East Ellis, The Shards preview. This road is called Ellis. Over here. It's very strange. Let's say Ellis. Yeah, that's the road I'm on right now. It's called Ellis. Actually, let's go straight. That was the road I needed to be on anyway. Yeah, Brandon East Ellis finally wrote a book that was in waiting for 20 years called The Shards. Haven't read it, just the preview. I just listened to the preview. Actually, I haven't read any of his books. I've heard about it. I've been told to read some of his books. Ben York told me to read American Psycho when I was working with Drake on a stage play. Never read it, but I saw the movie. Sorry about that. It's Brett East Ellis. I think I might have said Brandon East Ellis. American Zero and American Psycho. Novelist from California that lived in New York for 20 years. I only had to live in New York for 1 year, thank goodness. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with New York, other than it's busy all the time. Busy, busy, busy. It never sleeps. I don't know how long this Winnebago's been there. California. I thought I heard somebody talking. Oh, the lights are on now. Alright. Just got a wing stop. Literally right here. Just trying to edit my description of the Great Mountain in ribbed parentheses or dogmed out close parentheses dash shepherds of Alaska. Ooh, bunny rabbit. I don't know why my working title's so crazy. I think it's because it's a novel in parts. Probably something to do with the precipice. Precipice is hard to spell. It's P-R-E-S. I'm sorry, P-R-E-C-E-P-I-C-E. Almost like spice is in their precipice. It's basically a vertical moment of a mountain, or it's like a cliff that goes straight up, a precipice. Right. This wing stop is on its way. 12:48 arrival, 15 minutes, 6 miles. Fire Station Park. Oops, wrong house. Don't ever look at the GPS, always look at what's on the app. Verify it at the last minute. And it's this one. Yep, this is the right one. Thanks, kitty. Appreciate it. Edison. to my old high school, fast school. It was weird because I dropped out of Richland, dropped out of Haltom. I was actually told to leave Richland because I was out of zip code. My mom moved out of zip code. She moved in the Haltom zip code. Then I left Haltom, and I think I might have re-enrolled at Keller, and then eventually enrolled here at Pascal and graduated here. And Bob Reed's class was like right there, I think. And John David Templin's class was on the other side. You can still see the panther right there. See it? You see it right there in the center. That's a panther. Their mascot is a panther. A purple panther. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jenny Chowning was the mascot. She was in my creative writing class too. My creative writing class. Grant Ellis was there too. The name Ellis comes to mind. I think they ended up getting married and moving to Washington, D.C., if I'm not mistaken. Grant Ellis and Jenny Chowning Ellis. Or it'd be Jenny Ellis now. There were a lot of people in that creative writing class. With Stephanie Black, Robert Vasquez, Aaron Goldblatt was there before he left. That was a whole scandal too, that I don't want to get into. There's, I think, a girl named Darcy, or Marcy. No, her name was Marcy. I'm getting it mixed up with Smashing Pumpkins. She had the guitar. I ended up putting that guitar in a storage unit in New York City when I went there to try to become a stage actor. And I wrote the book Trapped, which I believe was in third person. Marcy was in the creative writing class and the theater department too. So was Rob, he was in the theater department. There was Shay, I don't remember her last name. She sat kind of in front of me, or to the right. And then there was, I believe her name was Jenna Gerard. She had a brother too. She went to New York. Jenna did. There was a lot of people in that creative writing class. We'd always have to write a short story, 5 pages for an assignment. I think there were like three or four short stories we had to write, with a beginning, middle, and end. That was the only part of the assignment. It had to be 5 pages. We did a photography assignment too, like a journalism photography assignment. We took photos of things in Fort Worth and wrote about it. Anyway, a lot of those people went to college. I ended up going to Texas Wesleyan and graduating from the University of North Texas, then going out to California, and then going to grad school at the New School University. Between 2001 and 2002, I attended the Actor Studio Drama School. Our dean was James Lipton, who's passed away. I guess I just follow the theater part of it all. We did have a playwriting assignment. We had a that was the thesis kind of the class. It was treated like a college course. We had a playwriting assignment. We had to write a play. Mine was called A Walk Through the Park, and I misspelled through, or I spelled it T-H-R-E-W. It was really supposed to be called A Walk in the Park. Later on, years later, I realized that's what I was really trying to say. It was a walk in the park. But me, being who I am, wrote the words walk through the park. A walk through the park. And I was embarrassed when they told me I misspelled through. It was Shay that told me that I misspelled through. I spelled it T-H-R-E-W. She's like, no, it's T-H-R-E-W. R-U-G-H, or you could say T-H-R-U. I was like, okay. I had to write it really quick. Sorry about that. I did type it. But that's just spelling, you know. The play was there. I was supposed to use the Awakening soundtrack, but Rob didn't bring the CD. He used, it was a song that was used in Life Lessons. At the beginning of Life Lessons, a Martin Scorsese short film. Has the word shade in it and the word white. Yeah, and he brought the CD for his. He had the CD. He did a play called Slow Dancers. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jenna Gerard and I were in it. And that probably made my high school sweetheart pretty mad. I believe we kissed in it. But then I also kissed Jennifer Black in A Marriage of Bet and Boo, which is also the theater show, or the part of the theater department. And my high school sweetheart had to see that too. I didn't have a chance in hell. At that point, I had to kiss two girls in front of her because she was an audience member. She was in the art department. She has initials JQ. Finally, the yellow light. The yellow blinking light. Anyway, I'll talk about it later. So Gary Brooker and Matthew Fisher wrote a song called A Whiter Shade of Pale. And that's the song Rob used to introduce his play Slow Dancers. And the music really, lifts it. I was supposed to use the Awakening soundtrack, the theme music in Awakenings. It's a Robert De Niro movie. Which brings us all the way back to Bradley Cooper, who ended up being the chosen star at the Actors Studio, who talked to him about the movie Awakenings. He did a gesture that was kind of like this. And asked him if it was a planned gesture or if it came out of instinct. That made him a movie star. It's interesting how things are connected. A Whiter Shade of Pale. That was the name of the song. Anyway, we were all young then. We wanted to all be famous and get out of all of it. We did not want to have to do food delivery in our 50s. We wanted to live in a mansion and be safe and be alive and well and healthy. Just like we will be in heaven. Some of us, for all eternity. Is that a dog? Way out there. Anyway. I'll have to remember it's a coyote or it's a fox. I can't tell. It's a coyote. There he goes, right in the light. It's a coyote. He's going in the botanical gardens. They say the coyote is a symbol of the creator of all things. The Native American culture was all created by the coyote. A Whiter Shade of Pale. Matthew Brook, A Whiter Shade of Pale. It's Matthew Fisher. You think of Matt and the Fisher in the Bible, and Gary Brook. Gary Brook and Matthew Fisher wrote A Whiter Shade of Pale. Anyway, it was the best play because it was well written, like Sophocles. But all the plays equally were good. I don't know. Some things you can't let down. Some things you can't let go. And life is one of those things the actor loves. And the playwright, of course, and the writer. The actor really does love life. All right, we're gonna head back and feed Kitty. Yeah, so if you see the collected 3 shorts called New York Stories, the first one is called Life Lessons. It's by Martin Scorsese. A Whiter Shade of Pale by Matthew Fisher and Gary Brooke is in it. Nick Nolte's in it too. That's probably where he got the idea for that particular song for Slow Dancers. Slow Dancers was the name of the play. It's about these 2 kids that end up slow dancing, and actually it's about this. It's when they're older. The play starts off and they're older, and they look back. Well, their younger versions of them criticize them in a way, talk about them. These younger versions of themselves start communicating with them, and it all ends in a slow dance between these the two protagonists, I guess you could say, or the one protagonist, which I was cast as. Rob cast me in it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I cast him in the lead in A Walk Through the Park with the misspelling of THREW. Anyway, spelling's very crucial in writing. It's something I struggle with every time I add on to my novel, I guess you could say, or anything that I do. Sometimes I misspell on purpose, though. I told Jen, JQ, I told her, I said, maybe I did it on purpose. It's more poetic with the misspelling. Like I walk through the park in the trash can. A walk through the park. If you could throw something. So, in actuality, I did it on purpose. I just didn't know it. My body did. It's Bob Reed. He hung it up there anyway. Like a walk through the park. It's weird because now when I take a step, it kind of hurts. And I knew it probably would when I'd be talking about this, because I broke my ankle at the age of 15 really badly. Badly. And I broke my ankle badly. It was a spiral fracture, and then I broke 2 bones, and then I bent a bone skateboarding at the age of 15 at Dove Park. I probably knew, because I remember asking the doctor. I said, will I be able to walk again? And he said, yeah, we'll get you walking again, don't worry. I ended up becoming a jogger. I love jogging. I can still do it. I jogged a little bit today. But he said, well, when you're in your 50s, you might have some arthritis because of it. Which, believe it or not, I don't. The thing that I'm dealing with, I've only had for off and on 4 months. But it is painful. And I don't know if it's for sure because of the break. I think it was maybe something I was doing when I was jogging. I don't know for sure. It came around about a month or so before my sister passed. And then in April, I think it was there. And my heel started hurting on my right foot. Maybe that's the walk that through the park. You know what I mean? The park is the happy thing in life. Anyway, a walk through the park is about a shoe salesman, a young kid who's a shoe salesman, that he comes back to the shoe store and robs it, but he holds everyone there hostage. And he did it because his father abused him. It's kind of like a Columbine kind of thing almost. I wrote about it. And at the very end, at the shoe store, the cops are waiting for him outside, and an old man gives him a pair of shoes that can actually help him fly. And like Peter Pan, he flies over the cops and escapes. When in reality, the person telling the story knows the difference. Meaning he just changed the story. It could be interpreted that way, but it's a play that would have to be interpreted. I don't know if I have a copy of that play. I might, but I had to write it. And there's like an old man in the shoe store. There's these ladies that ask him, they're like, well, these shoes aren't made in America. This shoe store is called All American Shoes. I think that was one of the lines. Kate had that line. Kate Thistlethwaite had that line. Kate Thistlethwaite was in the creative writing class. Anyway, I'll talk about all that later. Maybe I'll write about that someday, maybe. Here he is. Little kitty. This is pretty outdoor kitties. That one's for Tabby, also known as Toby. And this one is for Amy the Bitch, also known as Skinny Midnight and Midnight Kitty. Nope, it's for the outdoor kitties. Not for you. You get the good stuff. You'll get the fancy feast in a minute. All right, kitties. Here we go. Come on. Here we go with today's kitty. One kitty, 9 lives. Each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food. And pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having fancy feast. Tuna feast and gravy grilled. How about that, kitty? Scoop and 2 scoops. You're on a diet, so you're only going to get 2 scoops. There you go, kitty. A little bit more on this one. 2 scoops and a half. Me, I'm just gonna have the ramen noodle thing, but I'm not gonna film it tonight. Ramen noodle and tuna. I'll just show you. Boil it in here.